obviously Monday night was a scary situation, and I think there's a lot of feeling and sentiment you can tell in our building, and I'm sure around the league. Just concerned for his well-being, and as it should be. And so I thought that Sean and Zach did a great job, of handling the situation as obviously as well as they could the other night, and we'll continue to be thinking about them and hoping for good news, obviously, as we go through the week. So.
Welcome into the Silver and Black Show. Amber Theoharis along with James Jones. And Saturday's game against the Chiefs will be the first time NFL players step on a field since Monday Night Football between the Bills and the Bengals when Damar Hamlin collapsed in cardiac arrest. And that was Josh McDaniels talking about all of the thoughts and prayers that have gone out to Damar as he continues to fight in a hospital. But very good news on Friday. He was taken off of a ventilator. He was able to FaceTime with some of his teammates.
Big
and
time.
James, as a teammate, what that must have meant to them to see his face.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a sigh of relief, as a teammate, knowing what you've seen, him falling to the ground and, everybody praying for him to FaceTime you and know that, hey, it's all good. We all know they're going to have the threes on the jerseys. Threes is going to be everywhere. And now you just say, hey, my brother's all right. Let's go out there and fight for him. He would want us to go out here and play hard and get this job done. But I'm telling you, I've been there before. I've seen teammates laid on the ground, neck injuries and all that, and just to come right off the field knowing they all right is a relief. Couple weeks later, couple days later, knowing that they all right, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
We're all right.
It's going to be an emotional game between the Chiefs and the Raiders. League-wide pregame, there will be a collective moment of support that the entire league is going to show on Saturday and Sunday. And so for the Chiefs, this is a very big game. It's the Raiders' chance to play spoiler. The Chiefs are still fighting to hold on to the #1 seed in the AFC. And Jarrett Stidham will get a chance to play spoiler for the Raiders. And if he plays like he did against the 49ers, there's an opportunity for the Raiders to come out with a win. Look at these numbers, James. Ooh. This is what remember, the 49ers had the #1 defense in the NFL coming into that game. He scored 3 touchdowns, threw 3 touchdown passes against them, threw for 365 yards per attempt, more than what they had been with other offenses against that defense. And the quarterback rating over 100 in your first start. Hey, man, we'll take that in the NFL. And now we get a chance to see him go up against the Chiefs defense.
Absolutely. And I'm excited for him, right? Because, if you do it once, they kind of say that's lucky, right? You get another chance to go out there. If you do it twice, I think that's going to open some eyes. Can this kid be the quarterback of the future and get the job done? But the way he looked against the best defense in the National Football League, he looked cool and calm. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Made play after play, not just with his arm, but with his legs as well. Got outside the pocket and played really good football, and it showed by the numbers. And I'm really excited to see him go out there and spin it against another really good defense and a really good challenge for him.
It was a very efficient offense, one of the most productive offenses we'd seen from the Raiders. And Davante Adams was somebody that benefited from having Stidham out there. He had 153 yards and 2 touchdowns in the game, including that 60-yard touchdown pass from Jarrett Stidham, where he got rocked. Stidham got rocked after that pass by Ufanga. You can see it right here.
Yeah, and I love it because this right here, like I said, this is respect of your teammates. You know you are about to take a shot right there. You see DA at the last minute, you know you're going to take a shot. You know you ain't got no mouthpiece in your mouth, but you say, I don't care. I'm going to stand up in this thing for my teammates. Big time play in a big time situation. DA, catch it. I will see you later. But that is a special play.
How comfortable Davante Adams was with Jarrett Stidham with very limited reps between the two of them. I mean, as a receiver, to know that you can connect like that in your first start, Davante's got to be excited about what he could see against the Chiefs.
Absolutely. And one thing about it is Stidham's blessed, right? Because for you to line up and say, ooh, I got 1-7 out here every single time, that is big time. And that makes it easier on the quarterback. And he did what he was supposed to do. 1-7 over there, ball going over there. I get outside the pocket, I see 1-7, ball going over there. And they made play after play. They look like they've been doing it for years.
You mentioned that Jarrett Stidham must have gotten the respect of his teammates with that play. Here's what Davante Adams had to say about the hit he took afterwards.
When getting in the end zone, I had no idea what was going on back there. The sideline was kind of quiet. I was like, oh, this looked like this one coming back. But, had a return route. I'm coming out, and I just see Jared just kind of sticking with me, and then I found a void in the defense and found a way to get behind him, and then he stuck in there through it, and he came and greeted me on the sideline with blood between his teeth. So that's what you want out of your quarterback, and I'm really proud of him. He's a tough guy, man. He's not the biggest dude, and he sticks in there. He's gonna look for his guys, and he's gonna find a way to get it done. So really proud of him for the way he played.
Well, we got to ask Davante where he got that Warriors hat.
I know, that's
clean
fresh.
looking on
That's
Davante.
fresh.
Davante Adams is already having a record-breaking season for the Raiders, but he is on the verge of reaching some other marks. Take a look at the company that he could be in if he gets another touchdown. If he has 15 or more touchdowns, right now he has 14. If he gets one more, he would be in company with Rice, Moss, Harrison, and Owens. Those are all Pro Football Hall of Famers as the only players in NFL history that have 2 seasons with 15 or more receiving touchdowns.
I don't think people understand how hard it is to score touchdowns. It's easy to get yards. You can catch a 5-yard pass, you get you some yards. It is hard to get touchdowns, and to have 15.
Just ask Travis Kelce, who they're going up against. Travis Kelce hasn't scored a touchdown in 5 games after that hot start. It's hard to get touchdowns.
I'm telling you.
So we'll see if Davante gets in the record books yet again in this game. Coming up next, I sit down with Raiders GM Dave Ziegler. We talk Josh Jacobs, Derek Carr, and much more. Next on Silver and Black Show. The Silver and Black Show is brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. 1800, the best taste in tequila and official partner of the Raiders. I'm here with the Raiders GM, Dave Ziegler. We all know how organizations work. Who to play is Josh's decision. That's a coach's decision. But when you decide not to play Derek Carr, a franchise quarterback for 9 years, the last 2 weeks of the season, that's a big organizational decision. I know for you guys it wasn't easy and probably a little emotional. But how does that move ultimately put the Raiders in a better position for success moving forward?
Yeah, well, we all know the quarterback's the most important, position on the team, and like you said, it was a difficult decision, and there is emotion involved in that. And but you also have to make tough decisions in this business, and so an opportunity for us with two games to go, with where our record was at the time, and to get an opportunity to look at 2 young quarterbacks in Jarrett and in Chase, and to have them kind of have to step up and roll and step up in responsibility and step up in terms of the leadership aspect of the team. It's really invaluable for us to see, get a true evaluation of everybody in that room at the most important position in football, to make sure that we understood exactly what we have going forward, or questions or question what we have, and make some decisions how to solidify that room going forward. And this was an opportunity for us to do that.
And this week we saw Davante Adams, a leader on this team. He was very clear that he, quote, absolutely wants to be a Raider, that it was his dream job to be a Raider before Derek Carr was drafted. And this season you had 3 of the top players in the NFL at their position, and Max Crosby, Davante Adams, and Josh Jacobs. You also, going forward, have Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Chandler Jones, all under contract. What do you say to Raiders fans who maybe feared that a rebuild or some sort of reorganization could be coming just because of Derek Carr not playing, that this could be you and Josh starting to make big changes?
Yeah, I mean, we came here to win. And I think, but along with that, like we've said from the beginning, anytime you come somewhere new and you're taking over taking over an organization, you're new to the organization, there's an element of, especially in today's NFL, of yes, you want to win now, but there's also an element of reconstructing what has been there or what's not there to fit your mold. And so yes, there's going to be players coming and going. There's going to be some painful things that you have to go through, because you can't correct every single hole or make every single player acquisition in 1 year. I wish you could, but those just aren't the realities of the NFL. And so we're going to continue to find players that fit what we look for, and continue to build this team in our vision. And I think we're going to, at the same time, our goal is to win football games. And our goal for next year is to make an improvement over where we were this year. This year we didn't meet the expectations I think that we had for ourselves. ourselves. But again, that's part of this process. And so I think Raider Nation should understand that we're here to win football games, first and foremost. And we're going to also, to do that, we're going to make acquisitions that are going to help us win in the present. But we're always going to have a vision on how do we construct this thing long term, because what we don't want to do is just catch lightning in a bottle and you win for 1 year and then you're digging yourself out of that hole because you maybe weren't financially responsible, or you made some decisions that weren't long-term decisions. And so we're always going to weigh both of those things against each other when we make decisions to build this team.
An I formation behind him. Down to 5 on the play clock. Gets the snap. Hands off to Jacobs. Stutters to the right. Bursts through the whole 20. 25, 30. He's off to the races. Here in Seattle, nobody's going to catch him. 25, 20, 10. Ball game. Bye-bye, Josh.
This organization didn't pick up Josh Jacobs' fifth-year option, and kind of a great scenario that, hey, when a guy's in that situation, he went out and produced rather than be a malcontent. He went out and he led the league in rushing. How committed is the organization to possibly bringing him back? It is a contract year. He is up now because of the lack of the fifth-year option.
Yeah, well, I'd first say just very proud of Josh and what he's done this year. A lot of the first year is getting to know people. And getting to know Josh as a player and as a football player, his work ethic, his commitment to winning, his commitment to his own greatness are things that you don't know unless you spend time with people. And so that was a really encouraging thing to see this year. And Josh embodies a lot of the qualities that we want to build this foundation on. He loves football, he's dependable, he's tough, and he's a really good football player, and he's explosive, which is an important thing too. And so those are the types of players that we want to be Raiders and that we want to build around.
Catch the full interview with GM Dave Ziegler out now on Raiders.com or the Raiders official YouTube page. If you want to know more about where this organization is heading, you definitely don't want to miss that full interview. And he mentioned Josh Jacobs, as I asked him in the last question there. Josh Jacobs is somebody that it seems like if he has to be a Raider, right? I mean, they have to figure out how to bring him back, even if it is franchise tag.
I mean, you heard Dave talk about centerpieces, right? Well, you have one at the receiver spot that don't want to go nowhere, that want to be a Raider. That's DA, that's Davante Adams. And then you have one in Josh Jacobs. He's a centerpiece. He makes everybody better. Whatever quarterback is going to be under center, whatever offensive line is going to be out there, whatever receivers is going to be out there, Josh Jacobs makes everybody better. He is a guy that needs to be a Raider. He's a true Raider. He's tough. He's dependable, like Dave said. He's always there. And this year, he proved that he is that guy.
Yeah, 1,608 rushing yards, over 2,000 scrimmage yards. Both lead the NFL. To be noted, he might not be available here in Week 18 against the Chiefs. He is listed as questionable. Right now, Nick Chubb is about 200 yards behind him on the rushing yards list, so it doesn't seem like he could surpass him, but anything could happen in the NFL. Would be nice to see him finish there as the league-leading rusher. And you mentioned to see Davante Adams, who wants to be here, and then if they're able to keep Josh Jacobs, man, would that be a core duo going forward? Because both of them, if Davante Adams gets the 53 receiving yards, both of them would have over 1,500 yards.
Well, first play, well, it's simple
this
then.
doesn't happen often.
It's simple then. Take the ball on the kickoff return. All right, Kansas City play man-to-man. First play is all go. And let's ride.
Well, look at the company that the dynamic duo of Adams and Jacobs is, and the only other wide receiver running back combos to do this in history, to both have over 1,500 yards in a season. Smith and Irvin. Yeah. Look at that. Smith and Irvin did it twice. You look at Moore and Sanders with the Detroit Lions, of course, Harrison and Edgerrin James, and then here we go, Jacobs and Adams.
It's a lot of gold jackets up there.
There is. So two of the best right here in Las Vegas. All right, when we come back, we're going to preview the matchup with the Chiefs. Can the Raiders play spoiler? That's next.
Inside the Raiders 1, end zone to our right. Mahomes takes the shotgun snap, scans, back of the end zone. Kelce standing up, caught it, touchdown Kansas City. Play action Mahomes, dumps it through to the end zone. It's caught by Kelce again! Grabs it all alone, tosses it to the sideline. His fourth touchdown of the night.
Yeah, we thought we did a good job in the field of executing our game plan and trying to really limit his ability to impact the game. And then they moved the ball again down in the red zone and found him, and we had him doubled on those plays too. And so our doubles are going to have to be a little tighter. We might have to stay a little longer on them. And then the rush obviously is going to play a factor in that as well. So, you know, he's a great player. He's going to make some plays. We're not going to hold him without a catch and without a yard. And hopefully we can minimize the damage this time.
Welcome back to the Silver and Black Show. So the Raiders have an opportunity to play spoiler right now. The Chiefs are in the #1 seed. If they win against the Raiders, they stay in the #1 seed. But Buffalo is lurking as they take on the Patriots. Buffalo also could get the #1 seed. So a lot on the line during this game. And so for the Raiders, they're going to have to start by stopping Travis Kelce, as Josh McDaniels was just talking about. One of the most dangerous tight ends in the NFL. One of the most dangerous receivers in the NFL. How difficult is that to do? I mean, look what he has been able to do against the Raiders in his career. He has 11 receiving touchdowns, yards per reception over 13. I mean, that's pretty massive.
Yeah, and one thing people need to understand is Travis Kelce is a wide receiver in a tight end's body. He runs wide receiver routes. So when they get down here in the red zone, they are creating ways to get him the football. The Raiders actually did a solid job against him the last time they played. Obviously, did he get in the red zone and have 4 catches for 4 touchdowns? Yes, but yardage-wise, they really locked him down, right? So now it's just not giving him the big play. When you get down in the red zone, it's one person that Mahomes is looking for first, and that is number 87. So make sure all eyes are on him and force someone else to beat you. MVS, Sky Moore, first force somebody else to beat you down there. Make sure we have all eyes on 87 so he cannot wreck this game. But Coach said it best. We need to stop saying stop him. Slow him down, and let's make sure that we all got eyes on him.
Realistic at some point, but he hasn't had a touchdown in 5 games, so
let's keep that going.
Let's try to keep that one going. As for the other side of the ball, Jared Stidham getting his second start for the Raiders. One of the big surprises we saw as we were watching the game against the 49ers, we said, this boy has some legs. He can run, and he can run when he needs to, and he made some key first downs. But if you go up against a Chiefs defense and Steve Spagnuolo that plays that man coverage, oftentimes the DB and man coverage, their back is to the quarterback.
Yep.
Could this be an opportunity for Jared Stidham to take off, or do you think Spags is going to make some adjustments?
Absolutely, and when you're watching this game, I think that's one thing. When you're watching film, I think that's one thing Stidham needs to understand. If you want to play my guys out here man-to-man, I'm going to make sure that I get Spags out of this man-to-man because I am going to make plays with my legs. And if you see this, a quarterback running down the field, getting explosive gains, 10, 15, 20-yard runs, you are going to get out of that man-to-man. And this is what he brings. Stidham brings the mobility. Say, if you want to play man-to-man, I'm going to get outside this pocket like you see these quarterbacks right here doing, and I'm going to make plays with our legs. And that is how people have really been gashing the Kansas City defense and keeping drives together, especially on third down. So I'm looking forward to seeing him move in the pocket, move with his legs, especially when you come out there and see man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, Wilson had 2 touchdowns just last week against that Chiefs defense. When we come back, we're going to talk about what we are looking forward to, not just Week 18, but we're looking ahead, and we continue to break down the matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Silver and Black Show has been brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Chevron with Techron gives you unbeatable cleaning and mileage. Chevron, together ahead.
We look forward to the challenge of playing the Raiders.
You can get me fired up and talk about the Raiders. I'm good. I'm ready to roll.
I think that Chiefs-Raiders will always be one of the biggest rivalries in football.
The Raiders are a really good team, and that's not a team that you can just push aside. So we don't have to focus in.
They've got a good football team. Their young quarterback sure did a nice job the other day.
They got a great defense. Max Crosby is playing as good as anybody in the National Football League. An absolute game wrecker.
There's a lot of weapons over there. They got really good tight end. They got wideouts. That running back is for real.
I mean, he's a really good quarterback. We see him as a gunslinger. The guy, he's super confident. You would think that since he was a backup, he'll come in and be a little shaky. But I watched the game last week, and I mean, he stepped up and played like a heck of a game.
Again, we look forward to that challenge. It's Raiders and it's Chiefs, and Doesn't get any better than that.
So that's what the Chiefs are saying about the Raiders. A lot on the line for the Chiefs as they try to hold on to the #1 seed in the AFC, and the Raiders have an opportunity to play spoiler. As you watch this game, and not just this game, but the ramifications going forward into the offseason, what are you looking for, James?
Well, for me, it's all about believing what you see, right? Coach McCarthy always used to tell us, no matter what's going on, when you turn the tape on, believe what you see. So for me, I'm watching the quarterback. I'm watching Stidham. Is he going to go out there and look like he looked last week? If he does, Josh, when you turn on the tape, believe what you see with the young fella. We have quarterbacks in the National Football League starting right now because coaches believe what they see. Aaron Rodgers was behind Brett Favre. They believed what they see. They say, Brett, you got to go. Patty Mahomes was behind Alex Smith. Alex Smith was playing at a high level. They believe what they see. You got to go. Brock Purdy, all these guys, believe what you see if the young fella is showing you that.
A lot of young quarterbacks taking advantage of their opportunities. For me, what I'm looking for is where the Raiders fall after Week 18, whether they win or lose. Right now, here's the draft order. They're number 7. So they have a top 7 pick.
Yeah.
Right now, if they lose, you imagine they move up. If they win, perhaps they move down. But really, the future of the Raiders and Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler have an opportunity now to have an entire offseason of just their own. And I can't wait to see what they do in the draft. But hey, Week 18 going up against the Chiefs. We'll be out at Allegiant Stadium. 1:30 kickoff. For James Jones, I'm Amber Theoharis. We'll see you out there after the Raiders win.
Nation, it's time to lace up your shoes and get ready to run like a Raider. The race kicks off Saturday, March 4th, 2023 at the doorsteps of Allegiant Stadium. And after you wrap up your 5K, you and your guests will have access to the field where you can take photos and create special memories. Head on over to Raiders.com/5K for more information.